Here we go. Christian Gokel with ESPN Radio Savannah here. Please be joined by the new head football coach at HV Jenkins High School, Gene Clemons. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Hey, not a problem at all. Hopefully everybody's well down there.
Absolutely, man. We're doing the same as everybody else, man. A little stir crazy, but definitely want to get back to some football here in a few months. And I know you taking a job at a program that's been really successful here, made a semifinals run last year, sending a ton of guys to the D1 level. What was the communication like with Chatham County about the Jenkins job?
With Chatham County or just in general with Jenkins, I think that there's an understanding of, there's been a lot of success down, and Jenkins is kind of the program. Now, I wouldn't even say kind of. Jenkins is the program in the area right now. And you have to really appreciate what the previous coaching staff was able to do in their 3 years on the job there. I'm not, as a coach, I'm also looking at the fact that when you lose 20 seniors, 20 impactful seniors, probably one of the best senior classes to ever come through Jenkins, when you lose that caliber of, when you lose that caliber of a group, you're going to feel the effects of it. And then when you compound that with moving from 3A to 4A, it makes for interesting, for an interesting challenge. And that's really what was one of the things that sold me on the position, is this idea that I'm not just kind of taking over a well-oiled machine and having it continue to run. There's a lot of holes to fill. There's a lot of things to build on. The mission was not completed, and now we have a brand new mission. And so that is one of the things that I really take pride in. And then obviously the opportunity to work with young men that remind me of myself and grew up in similar situations as me. It's just been it's a pleasure to have the opportunity once I get the opportunity.
And you mentioned it there. You're a guy who came from the tradition-rich football state of Florida. That's where you played your high school football and then went on to play the collegiate level, coached in Atlanta these past years. When you look at Savannah, how does that football scene compare to some of the places you've been?
So I think that Savannah, from the outside, I would tell you, from the outside, a lot of people look at Savannah as a basketball area.
Right.
A lot of people, everybody that I talk to, hey, well, Savannah's a basketball place. Savannah's a basketball place. I'm going to tell you, ever since I've taken this job, this is definitely more of a football area than people give it credit for. And I've been pleasantly surprised by that, because I have been in some areas that are more where they care more about basketball. And I would say Savannah's one that cares about sports. They care about sports in general, and which is great, because I'm somebody that cares about sports in general. I always tell people that football is my wife, but basketball is my mistress. And so it's like I've always had a love affair with basketball. I was a basketball player in high school and a few years in college. I tell the story that if I was 6'6", I probably would have never touched a football. And so really looking at that and that dichotomy, that area, I think that Savannah is on par with a lot of the cities that you see that have a lot of programs in one area, where you have that fight for who's going to be the best every year, and all the kids grow up knowing each other and competing against each other, and in some cases actually playing on teams together outside of their high school experience. And so that's something that I look at and say it's very similar. I actually was trying to give someone a compare, like an idea about what I thought about Savannah from my little knowledge. And Savannah, to me, seems to be like a smaller version of Tampa, near the water, inner city, like rich tradition in an inner city, multiple schools. So that's one of the things that really excites me, is to get back to a place that reminds me a lot of where I grew up.
And you kind of mentioned it there. You've obviously had a chance to dive into the roster. You mentioned a ton of guys leaving, but you do have some talent coming back, especially on the offensive side of the ball in the backfield. Patrick Blake, quarterback's back for another year. DeMazio Harris, just an all-world running back there. When you look at what you have coming back, what excites you most?
Well, I mean, obviously there's no substitute for when you get an opportunity to have great skill positions back. I think we have some guys on the offensive line that are going to be impactful as well. I think this junior class has an opportunity to be just as impactful as the senior class we're saying goodbye to this year. And so obviously that's a great thing. But I'm really excited, and those guys are going to be great. Everybody knows that those guys are going to be great. I'm really excited about some of the young talent that I see that haven't had a real opportunity to be able to get out there and show what they have. And so having the opportunity to introduce those young men to the world, introduce those young men to the people of Savannah, I'm really excited about that.
Well, tell the Savannah fans what kind of offense and defense they should expect from you. I know you were with Tucker last year. They really play a smash mouth brand of football. What kind of football are you going to be playing on both sides of the ball?
Well, I think until I'm actually with our guys and we kind of see how everything gels, it's hard to specifically point to we're going to be spread or we're going to be this right, or we're going to be that. But I can tell you offensively, we're going to play 11 on 11 football. Take advantage of the fact that our quarterbacks are athletic, that they can do more than just sit back and hand off the ball. We want a defense to always be ready for the threat of the quarterback being a playmaker with his feet as well as his arm. So you'll see 11 on 11 football. On defense, we're going to be fundamentally sound, alignment, assignment, and technique, and make sure that we make teams beat us, that we don't let teams, that we don't beat ourselves. If we're going to get beaten, we're going to hope that it's because someone was just way better than us on that day, not because we kept shooting ourselves in the foot.
Sure. And I know everybody's dealing with it right now. The shelter in place, can't really get outside, communicate with people the way you want to. How has that approach really changed what you're trying to do right now?
So for me, I mean, I'm still in the infancy. Like I just yesterday had my first meetings with the players and with the parents on a Skype meeting, and I mean not Skype, excuse me, on a Zoom meeting. And the one thing that I realized pretty quickly is that my bandwidth is not built to have a Zoom meeting of more than a few people at one time. So quite honestly, for me, because I'm not able to be there and be in front of people right now, and I'm still being in the Atlanta area, I've got to reach out to my cable provider and get some more bandwidth, so that I can have more productive meetings without glitches. And then it's just, I think what we're going to see is, and this is not just for Jenkins. I think this is going to go for every football program. The programs that can find a way to be productive at this time mentally, those are probably going to be the teams that come out and hit the ground running, because we're talking about teenage boys. Physically, they're going to get back in shape pretty quickly. Like, yeah, they're not in shape right now. Let's be real about it. They're playing Xbox. They're playing PlayStation 4. Like, that's what they're doing. Even if they're working out without any type of oversight, many of them are just kind of going through the motions. Sure. Like that, it's a teenage boy. You were a teenage boy. I was a teenage boy. That's what we did when we had free time. We played video games. And if we did work out, we worked out unproductively. And so I really think that the mental aspect is going to be where you're able to get the jump on other people. And we plan on, holding lots of meetings and being able to talk and discuss and start to implement the offense and defense the way we see fit, because not only will it be not only is this a new coaching staff for them, but it's going to be new ideas, new ideology, new philosophies, and we want to be able to start to implement that as soon as possible.
And finally here, Coach, again, everybody, all of our thoughts are with the first responders, nurses, doctors who are out there risking their lives every day to help strangers. But we're also all thinking about fall and hoping we can get back in stadiums and watch football at any level. Any message to the Savannah fans out there who are just kind of not hurting right now, but I know everybody's going stir crazy and just thinking about sports?
Well, my brother's a firefighter paramedic. He's been one for many years, and so my heart definitely goes out to all of those first responders and nurses and doctors and people who are dealing with this pandemic on a regular basis. My message to all of the Savannah fans out there is to be patient. Be patient and be purposeful in what you do right now. My goal is to come out of this pandemic as a better person than when I went into it, and really have an opportunity to do some self-reflection, to work on some things personally that I feel can make me a better person publicly. And so I challenge everybody to do that, to find something that you can improve in yourself in this time, so that when you come out of it, you have an opportunity to appreciate everything more than you did before you went into it. And one of those appreciation is going to be football and the opportunity to go back and see games again. But, you know, patience is the key. And so if everyone's patient, if everybody just, you know, deals with whatever they're dealing with inside, and helps us all get through this together, we'll be back to football sooner rather than later.
There you go. Gene Clemons, the new head football coach at HV Jenkins High School. Gene, we appreciate the time, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Anytime. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, man. Anytime.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.